Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm gonna start this episode by reminding you guys, follow me on Twitter. With Tumblr doing whatever it's doing now, and YouTube just not sending out videos to people, it's to the point where I think, unless if you're actively tracking down my videos, like going to the page, every day at 1 Central Standard Time, and then checking it out. Sorry, I got attacked by my cat there. I don't think you're gonna get to see the videos unless if you follow me on Twitter. Just all of the other services just don't seem to work anymore. So, including YouTube. So I would just depend on Twitter to send out a notification. And if you just follow me on Twitter and then check that, it should have like an auto-generated tweet every day at 1 to let you know. And I think that's the only way you're gonna know whether or not I posted a video. Sorry about that. The internet sucks now. But anyway, let's get into Hiveswap. I'm saying that because I assume you want to see the end of this, and I assume you want to see the rest of this once the main game comes out. But yeah. Anyway, we've done like, I say main game, but like, listen, we're like 17 volumes in, so 17 times 2 is math. Some math. And we've done that many. So we've done more episodes of this than the other one. I got kind of pissed off at her. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm fine with being disaffected and all that, but Jesus Christ, channel that shit into something. Anyway, we're going to do Nikki Mula. Dim lights in the den of a... What the fuck is this? Horse with 3 eyes. Not a fan. And do they have nip piercings? Are those nip piercings or just like the nips themselves? It's hard to tell. I think those are just the nips themselves. That's slightly better. I'm sure there's little like references in the crowd here to like random trolls that you guys would know about, but I don't. I'm like... What's it called when you're like an auxiliary homestuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I really keep up or really understand this, but I feel like I understand it more now after doing 17 times 2 of these. Dim lights in the den of a roaring crowd and the smell of horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps universes, there is still something deeply familiar about sporting arenas. Smash her mother... Let me say fuck! There's also something deeply familiar about sporting fans. Oh. It's such a shame having seats next to these purples. They can be so crude and boorish, don't you agree? Chat wouldn't be nearly this loud. Usually. You find yourself here attending a wrestling show. Oh my god, there's another troll in there with that. Oh fuck, it's dead. Like this noodle arms versus like this like stitched up abomination. Yeah, you're fucked, kid. You find yourself in attendance of a wrestling show or display of muscular. I don't even know why I'm shocked by that at this point. It's upsetting. Like we have a selection of words that we use regularly, and yet, to use the troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of Amnesia Iran, she won tickets in a raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. You agreed with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but you eventually agreed she eventually agreed to not kidnap you and keep you locked up as a living paint jar, since you're buddies and all. What a sweet friend. That's good. It's nice of her. You have to admit, though, wrestling isn't really your thing. As over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which also makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off in futuristic hover stretchers with injuries you're not sure they could survive. Oh gosh, she nearly got impaled there. Every match tonight is taking place within a chain link cage, spikes surrounding it on both the inside and the outside, which jut out occasionally from places where the wire crosses. The overall design, did they do the art separate to, because that doesn't look like chain link, that just looks like a cage, you know? So did they do the art like they go, okay, we're gonna have like a wrestling match with some trolls in it, draw that, and then not tell them what kind of cage? Your overall design is, in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshed, seems to both keep the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. Current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood calling himself Coal Pits. Interestingly to you, there is nothing clown-like about him at all. It's almost conspicuous how unclowny he is, as if only due to the absolute ridiculous amount of clone content you've invited in the presence of other purples. The two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves him in the blinding fast punches of the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with this barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down. Oh shit. Those are female presenting nips. Those are some female presenting nipples. Jesus Christ, Tumblr's gonna ban us for this one. But she always springs up before she can land a second hit. Wait, which one's the female? Every one of his... Oh, no. Those are not... Those are male presenting nips. So we're fine. We're actually fine. It's okay, Tumblr. You don't have to ban me. We got this. There are horse presenting nips, though. And I don't know as if that counts. She springs back up before she can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive troll is holding back, presumably so as not to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you've not seen a single match where a lower-blooded opponent triumphed over a high-blooded foe. Why would you even go into a cage match with someone who you were essentially sandbagging? To the death. To the death, mind you. Like, if it wasn't to the death, it's like, okay, you know, maybe just for the sake of keeping food on, you know, your family's table or what have you. That's fine. But, Jesus. I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting. I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular theaterist performing next. Her name is Nikki Mullah. She hasn't ever lost a fight. I heard she even beat a Violet Blood once. Nikki Mullah. Now, that's a name you could befriend. She must be as big of a deal as Amnesia makes her out to be because she really uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan. Wait, John Cena's name isn't John Cena? Also, I know I'm pronouncing that last bit wrong. But, consider this. Suck my cock. You know? I don't know. Now that I've said that, does that change your opinion any at all? Like John Sierra or Hulk Hogan. I couldn't figure out a way to mispronounce his last name. I mean, Hogan is just Hogan, you know? Oh, look, he got her. You flinch as the purple blood manages to get his quarry into his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch and she collapses onto the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet, and the announcer calls the match to an uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive blood looks like she would probably live, but she's got a dent in her face that probably isn't coming out ever. All of a sudden, you think you might need to go to the bathroom. I mean, you mean to use the snack. I mean, you'll be right back. It's okay. Come back soon. The fight is giving me all sorts of new ideas for a painting. God, that would be kind of cool. Just thinking about paintings for myself. Like, I wonder if there's any, like, Fight Club-esque, like, fist fighting going on in Austin. Like, to the death. Not necessarily to the death, but, like, to the point where people are, like, really fucked up. Could I paint that, you think? They'd probably stop me from taking reference photos, wouldn't they? I mean, that's the whole point of Fight Club. You don't talk about it. You quickly make a break for it, jostling your way to the stands and towards the exit of the arena. Before you can make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired, slick-finned, violet-blooded guy, wearing a full suit and tacky flame pattern on it. Hey, you alien. Me, you ask, pointing to yourself nervously. No, the other alien. You swing your head around wildly, looking for the other alien. The bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which was that you are the alien whose attention he wants. You looking to make a little extra buck? Not really. You spent all that money you won with Adaja. Okay, how about fame? Frankly, you're probably too famous for your own good. Yeah, actually, getting famous on a planet where aliens are murdered and you happen to be an alien? You're dumb. That was a dumb decision. You know? It's like being in the mob. You can't get famous if you're in the mob. Friendship? Oh shit, yeah! Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage while explaining that he's a promoter for a wrestling ring. One of the other trolls who's supposed to be performing tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll-devouring catch-eye grabber. As such, famed muscular theorist Nicki Mullah. Is that supposed to be like Nicki Minaj? Mullah. It's got like a similar like flow to it, but like I don't know. I don't know much about Nicki Minaj. I don't think she's a like absolutely jacked wrestler though. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that one. Like I wouldn't describe Nicki Minaj as ripped. You know? Anyway, has been left with nobody to fight. You will be that nobody or somebody. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Nikki is so friendly, he says, in a tone so insincere that your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay. You've met worse. He takes you to the back room and seems to be full of stage performers waiting their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular, sweat-soaked blue blood more often than not. One troll particularly stands out from you, her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg. Where is this happening? Is that female presenting nipples? He looks like a dude, but it could be female presenting or dude presenting nips. Sorry, I can't get over the way they wrote that. It's one of the funnier, more stupid things I've read this year, and that's saying something. From her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg to the fact that she's the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. That's true. She's currently doing a bicep curls with a set of spiked weights, huffing with exertion. When the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. I'm busy. What was that? Like that symbol? Is that like an ASCII vagina? Like, what? You begin to explain that he has brought a new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met. What is that supposed to be? Because I've seen ASCII porn before. Don't ask. You know what? Look it up. Fuck it. That'll probably get by Tumblr censors. Go look up some ASCII porn. Do you know what happens, sister, to people who disturb my preparations?
Do you want to experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here?
Sorry, I decided halfway through that we gotta go Randy Savage. She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The promoter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up her act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look and which distinctly suggests that she's never dropped kayfabe in her life and has no intention of starting now. I mean, I guess while you're on the scene, you got to keep up kayfabe. If you're not familiar with wrestling terms, kayfabe is like your persona and like the stage theater. Like, you can't ever say wrestling's fake if you're a wrestler. And you have to act as if everything that's going on in that theater is real, you know? And as far as, like, the damage they do to each other, like, they hurt each other. But, like, it's not, you know, it's orchestrated to some extent. And, like, but it's, like, supposed to be a play, you know? Like, one guy wins, one guy loses. There are bad guys, there are good guys. The bad guys are called heels. I forget what the good guys are called. A lot of, like, early metal, like black metal, is inspired by, like, wrestling heels. Like Venom, they expressly said, like, we're the bad guys, you know? Like, you got all these pop stars. Why don't we be the bad guys? You know, there's got to be heel. Same with Guar. If you look at him in that light, you're like, oh, that's why they sing like that and dress like that, you know? It's good. Anyway, that's what K-Fab is. It's the theater of it, and never dropping the persona. At least when anyone cares.
Make it quick.
The promoter makes it quick.
So let me get this straight. You expect me, to perform with this thing?
She seems less than impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you really don't look like the wrestling type.
Don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pulled Rusty from the audience than subject me to this humiliation.
Oh, but you're more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have a heart and soul of a wrestler. I mean, like, we don't really get a choice in this one. We're just gonna die, I feel like. You have much longer than 5 minutes, though you thoroughly assure her, waited for the opening such as this, to reveal your true passion to the world. You've come alive onto the stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons, you've thirsted for a chance to sing in a song of sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would you be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of an athlete, to perform alongside with your hero? To show the world that you too love to do the muscly thing, and that you might just, okay, I get it. She glances over at the promoter and then back to you.
It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being. But is it ready for butt clenching, flesh abrading, knuckle blistering, muscle rippling smackdown from uptown?
Yes. You nod your head confidently, blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh, you say. Let's get this smackdown started.
You got guts, at least.
She turns to the promoter and gives him a curt nod. I think I already used my Randy Savage voice, but here's with this series. But here's the deal. Like, I'm not a voice talent. I'll tell you that much. I got a nice voice. I got a good voice and a pretty face. And if I think of something else I got going on for me, I'll let you know.
The match is on.
Then she turns back to you.
Now, sister, we need to discuss the show. I will make all the decisions who will respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus. An alien invader challenges me to an exhibition match to topple my matriarchy. They fight valiantly to show an entertaining display of strength, but in the end, as is right and proper, the nobler hue of the hemo spectrum prevails again.
She starts flexing and showing off for you for an imaginary audience before turning back to you.
Any questions, sister?
Actually, you do have a question. First, will you die?
No! Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Such is the risk we take. We indulge in that most noble and dignified sport.
I've heard a theory that some YouTubers try and do the heel thing. Some more successfully than others. Some lean into it completely. I don't know if I believe that. You know? Like, it's bad. It's good to have a villain, you know? You gotta have a villain. And especially a villain that's a manageable villain, you know? That makes life entertaining, because then you can hate them, and it doesn't have to have any sort of complexities to it, you know? problem is that I always think the villain's right. You know?
I was willing to give up my leg for this craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that will transcend us and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister?
Well,
It's rhetorical.
right. Secondly, when she says exhibition match,
It's a muscular theater term, referring to a match staged for entertainment that does not affect one's ranking in the flex ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude.
yeah? That'll disappoint some people. She does? Is that a thing?
Such glorious displays of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for intergalactic Olympics.
No, you got that. Mostly you were wondering whether it meant that the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense.
Do not integrate this noble sport with claims of savagery.
Thirdly, you're getting the real sense that she's playing the heel, yeah?
What?
You explained that in your own culture, the equivalent of a muscular... Okay, here we go. Face, there it is. And I think there's like you can have like some version of it where, yeah. Yeah, anyway, here's the same thing I just explained again. In your own cultural equivalent of muscular theory, performers generally fall into a category of face or heel, where face is the rule-abiding, sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas heel takes on more aggressive, unlikable personality. So that's like, an example of a face would be like, I think Hulk Hogan counts, John Cena counts, heels would be like Stone Cold Steve Austin or, Randy Savage. Those are good examples of both, I think. I think I got that right. Because Randy Savage would cheat. Hulk Hogan would never cheat. Same with John Cena, you know. It's the... What the fuck are you knocking down over there? Anyway.
What part of my personality is unlikable? Do you dare suggest, sister, that the audience won't be roaring in thorious applause and admiration as I conquer yet another pebble fool?
You tell her, you know what? She's gonna be both the face and the heel, and you'll just be...
Subjugated under my heel?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Moolah, chatting time over. You're up. So she, like, straight up doesn't have a leg. She jerks her... It didn't show me that because this text box was in the way, and I forgot what the button was to make that go away. I'm a little bit scared to press buttons and get it wrong. I would like to see her lack of a leg. Befriendments? What is this? Oh, hey, it's like the ones that I actually did right. Huh. Oh, God. No. I did some of these. I think it just didn't have the befriendments thing yet. Because I know I did some of them. Yeah, it just didn't show some of them. Okay, well, anyway. She jerks her head back to you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the promoter directs you to the entrance of the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. Wearing the belt of the champions in the leg of her own design, she is ready to gut her competition. A paragon of the powerful, lady of the legwork, a true blue roughinator in the making. Clap those hands and activate your screech crevices. It's Nikki Moolah. Nikki approaches the cage in thunderous applause, raising her arms and soaking in all the praise. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly on her steely frame. These appear to be a common ritual for her. That's fucking weird. Oh, okay, yeah, she straight up has a peg leg. Okay, well, that seems like it would suck to get stabbed by. She steps into one of the cage doors, and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. With her arms crossed and her teeth so firmly gritted, she awaits you. As the announcer begins the new intro speech, you step forward. In the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up low-blood alien. How has this absurd mockery of life not been culled yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to the thrashing in the bloodthirsty hands of Barbfoot of the Grand Nikki. I think it's like F11. Oh no, that makes the screen big. What is it? Can you go away for a sec? Oh well. Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring. Hear the door close behind you.
So, you've come here, alien, to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species.
Yeah, you shout. Your kind is so superior to trolls.
And you, their emissary. Does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiast?
She turns to the audience, throwing out a hand, gesturing to you. They boo.
Is this sorry specimen the best your planet can offer?
Didn't they literally do this in, Dexter's lab? Wasn't it? Where they did the episode where they had, what was the action force? It was like the Avengers, but not as good. And they had to, like, wrestle a guy from outer space, and it was the monkey that ended up surviving. Welcome to 90s references. You like Homestuck, so you like it anyway. Dexter's Lab, go watch it. Yay, 90s. Eat gushers. Am I doing it right? Anyway, more booze. You counter that with more prepared to tackle the mightarchy. Yeah, that.
So you claim to be prepared. But are you prepared to face these 24-inch slither noodles?
Pythons? She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explodes.
So be it. I'll crush you in a single blow.
You're expecting a referee to start the match, but it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which apparently is the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nikki grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling it in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer is screaming something about this move being called the Spiky Nikki. That's a bad sign. If you don't know what a move is and it has a name and you are made out of duct tape and dreams, like, yeah, you're dead, mate. Once she finishes her ascension, Nikki deftly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down towards you. Her body twists and rises multiple blinding fast flips before a robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you probably should move. You duck and roll forward, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood!" as you feel the light trickle down the back of your neck. Members of the crowds are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood, meaning between the neon lighting in the distance, they probably think that it's just rust-colored and not a mutant red. So at least you have that going for you. Herman is lurking and may claw me at any moment, so if I just begin screaming, that's what it is. Anyway, what you don't have going for you is time to think about your next move, because Nikki pivots her heel and charges towards you. This time, she's going for a more theatric throw. As if climbing the fucking side of the cage wasn't? Two powerful hands grab you and lift you over her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on one of her horns in a struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard. You are delighted to find that it loosens her grips, and you go tumbling over her back, landing with a clumsy stagger on your feet. You're not sure if she let you get away with that one for the sake of the show, or if she just slipped out of you've just slipped out of her sweat-smoked palms. We are going to charitably assume the former. Really hope I don't have to, like, run over there real quick. You can sit in the window, but you can't claw. Oh, okay, hold on. She turns to face you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist and then sending it barreling towards your fragile human nose. You leap out of the way, only narrowly dodging it.
All you've done is avoid me, coward. What's your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you loath to face my true blue, muscle-bound beauty?
You take this as your cue to attack, and instead, you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you. You swear. You swear.
Fool! There's no running or hiding for you, Nicky Muda. Stand and fight!
She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, least of all you. But you think you can pull off something cool out of this. You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging the spikes that line it, and you use the slightest amount of give in the chain link wires to springboard off. With an exuberant grin, you go flying towards her, arms held out in a classic clothesline maneuver. Then you collide with her own arms and whop. When you wake up, you're lying on what appears to be an exercise map. You feel the telltale throbbing and sensation of your face indicates that you have a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, does not feel particularly hurt. Nearby, you hear the huff and puff. What the fuck is this room? I just took an eye off the stuff and... The fuck is that? Is this a torture device room? Or an exercise room? Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nikki training in one of those leg press machines you saw in the gyms, but never had the courage to attempt to use. I don't understand how to use them. There's one in, like, the apartment complex that I live in, like, their, like, workout area, which you have to, like, wipe everything down because people go in there sick to try and work out. Anyway, that looks like poop. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I don't understand how you use those things. Like, I'd like to not skip leg day, but I don't know how to not skip leg day. I guess I just jog, but I've heard that's bad for you. Like long jogging sessions, like over time. I'm using that as an excuse not to work out. I don't work out. She's wearing an exercise outfit which, despite is very vastly different in purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions a fitness aficionado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artists don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout.
You're finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I have spent so much time, so much precious, valuable time waiting for you to open your eyes.
Oh God, how long have you been out?
About 40 minutes.
That's not so bad, is it?
Well, perhaps only compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack. Wretched. It's almost impossible to... I'm an almost impossible foe to conquer. Yet even Rusty had towed me longer in the realm of Mortal Kombat. You, weak sister. Offensively so.
She slams her foot forward in such violent velocity that weight on the leg press goes flying off and dents in the floor. Grunting, she stands up, takes a long swig from a bottle, and then approaches you with fire in her eyes.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Scuttle backwards, proffering only... proffering? Shouldn't that be offering only a sheepish smile? You're sorry, you guess?
I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You're not a worthless being. You have a flair for theatrics and appreciation for the sport and a shining soul filled with only an intractable determination. You could be so much more than you are, sister. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold the Brazilium.
You obediently cast your eye around this room. It is massive and littered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it resembling exercise machines like the one that you had in gyms back on Earth, but there's plenty of them that look more alien and deadly. The treadmill appears to throw the runner on a vat of acid if they fall off. A series of swinging axes that look like at home in a dungeon. 3 variations of Iron Maiden, and each more horrific than the last. This presumably is Nikki's personal workout studio. You could easily make for a torture chamber. You wonder if Ardata had ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Perhaps you should bring it up with her. No, that's all right.
There are some who are worth my expertise. It is here that I forged them. Just as I forged myself into beings of adamantium strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony.
God, that does a number on my throat. I forgot about that. I did like an entire series of streams, like a D&D campaign as Randus the Savage, who is literally just Randy Savage. And yeah.
But if your core is strong and your will of iron, yours will be unquenchable might.
She extends a hand to you, her jaw set.
Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend to the tumultuous heights of muscular perfection.
There's a look in her eyes that you've never seen before. One of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? We're going to die. Either way. This way. Okay, so there's two options here. Die immediately, or die, possibly, painfully, more so, or maybe get jacked and be able to be, like, super buff. You take her hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, you see that deep sapphire blue fill the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly, you feel your fingers fracturing.
Excellent! I knew you had the spark.
Now,
make a flame to grind and crush and pummel the flint until it bursts into a roaring blaze of strength. Today I shall begin by testing your limits. Come.
She leads you to the treadmill, and the deep bubbling pit of acid directly behind it, you nervously step on.
We're going to measure your speed and stamina. Run until you can run no longer.
She starts up the machine. She gives a nice breezy jog pace at first, but then the treads quickly begin to whir away at a blinding fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill.
Come on, sister, grit your teeth. Put some thrust and send you into it. You're not gonna If you're not evacuated your acid track by the time you're done, you aren't trying hard enough.
Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit. Running like you're being chased by an angry drone, your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. There's too much to talk about there. We still haven't seen him. Those treads are moving ever faster, and now you can feel yourself slipping. Got to hold. Ah! You lose your grip and go flying backwards, narrowly grasping onto the edge of the pit and dangling onto it, your toes singed by acid. Whew. You hoist yourself up on the edge of it and roll to the side, hissing. Nikki stands over you, clicking her tongue.
Top speed, 12 miles an hour.
That's good, right?
We're bronze blood. Nexus.
She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are terrible as Rusty's. Your lungs are gold at best. Your legs are unexpectedly cerulean. All while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further.
The desecrated corpse of my ancestors could do better than this.
You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skull.
Are you gonna inject this baby fluid all night long, or are you gonna wound up?
You go to toe-to-toe with the punching bag that shoots sonic blasts whenever you hit it.
Shape up or get ejected into the next solar execution barge.
So what do blue bloods do again? I'm trying to think of the other ones we know. We know like artists. It seemed like the entertainment class, now that I think of it. Like painters and YouTubers and wrestlers, I guess. It would put them higher up on the hemo spectrum than teal or cerulean, right? Blue is pretty high up. Higher up than purple, too. Huh. Weird. You saw, but she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise.
Your jazz hands are terrible!
By the time the hour is up, you're panting and huffing and desperate for a break. Nickley finally resents.
Your reward for staying alive thus far. Stay hydrated, sister.
I'm gonna drink some water myself. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles those gym buffs are always chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiously for a moment before throwing caution to the wind and gulping down some. Where has imbibing alien substances ever hurt you before? Before the flavor hits your taste buds, you almost retch. This is Gatorade mix. Oh.
Nutritious and delicious.
You keep chugging it. You need the liquids, foul they may be.
All right, lactose break over. Let's continue.
She leads you to one of those Iron Mange. She doesn't actually... This one doesn't actually look spiked. Just has blunt, bumpy surface on the inside.
Get in.
What? Get in. I'm gonna have to stop doing that voice because I don't think I'll be able to speak today if I keep doing it. Reluctantly, you step inside the Iron Maiden and the doors clamp around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you on all sides, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the walls, desperately trying to keep them from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the maiden opens.
Pressure resistance about olive level. These results are surprisingly adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work.
I'm just gonna say it in a shout now. Halfway point seems to be a marked change in her attitude as you continue to just barely preserve through everything she throws at you. Like shake weights so powerful, leaving you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises.
Keep steady, sister. Don't lose heart on me now.
The rowing machine that douses you with boiling water if you can't keep up pace.
Go, go, go! We'll make future specialists of you yet.
Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster.
Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bones.
After a few hours of grueling... I think I got it. You think some of your bones are broken, your heartbeat is coming in quick and irregular pulses, you can hardly breathe, your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. Guys, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet.
Get up!
You glance weakly at Nikki, expecting her to be looking down with you at disdain, but instead, you see her crouching down and offering her hand, wearing a smile. Taking her hand, she pulls you up to your feet. You look at her face, now resembling pride, when she claps a palm down on your shoulder. It only kind of hurts.
You done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, soldiering on held high. Even as your body broke beneath the weight. I've never seen such commitment, such strength of heart and soul, such dedication to the craft, such appreciation for the righteous pursuits. You're no mere workout partner, you are a workout friend.
I'm dying. A light blossoms inside of you like the neighing of a horse. You feel power, of strength, of bond between warriors. This is real and true. The light will never ever leave you. As you bask here in satisfied, sweaty glow of a workout, you realize that the planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principles, and cosmos come and go, but being swole as fuck is forever. Victory! That turned out okay. I'm gonna have to edit out like the 2 minutes where I ran out of the room real fast to get the cat and make sure that he didn't destroy everything. But otherwise, that was pretty good. Oh, and I didn't die. That was good. That was a very possible thing to happen. These videos are all in a playlist. If you want, you can click on that playlist, and that'll let you go and see other things that I've done. If you missed the other episodes and you're like, I like this one, but I watched all of it because I hate having fun, you could do that. Wait, purple bloods are above blue. Shit. Okay. Okay. That's a weird hierarchy. Alright, well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you want to see more, let me know. Too bad I'm doing more. Anyway, I'm gonna stop and see if I can get one more squeezed in before Tilda gets home. But, I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Bye.
I don't know what was that. What the fuck?